Hey everyone, this is Chris with Medina County District Library. I work at the Medina Library, and I'm here today to talk to you about Dungeons and Dragons. Specifically, how do you set it up to play online and what resources are available to you for free. The webpage I'm on is the homepage for Dungeons and Dragons. It's dnd.wizards.com. And this homepage, it has all the upcoming stuff for the game coming out and all that. We're going to ignore that and go straight to Basics of Play under Getting Started. This is a very brief overview of how Dungeons & Dragons works. It is the just very concept of the game, what a player is, what a dungeon master is, and how a campaign should get started. We're going to skip all that. It's great reading. I highly recommend you go through it before you go to the basic rules, but that's where we're headed for now. The basic rules is what it sounds like. It's a PDF of the basic rules for Dungeons & Dragons and how to play it, basically. The stuff in here is how to make a character with some options. It doesn't have all of the player handbook options in it, but it has a good chunk of them. It has playing the game, what to run. If you've never played Dungeons & Dragons before, that is a great place to start. Just going through this, I'd recommend you make a character first, but once you have your character, go through playing the game and see how it goes. This also has your spells and Dungeon Masters. It has some monsters in it, how to build combat encounters, all of that. And these are all hyperlinked not tool, I'm reading tool as I say that. So if you just click Dungeon Masters tools, for example, it takes you down to Dungeon Masters tools. Very handy, very good PDF. Now, if you are like me and you say, well, the basic rules are nice, but I was hoping to get a little more information than that, then let me show you the next document. It's called the D&D SRD, or Dungeons & Dragons System Reference Document. And what that is it's a PDF that Dungeons & Dragons puts out under the Open Game License, which means that everything in this PDF you are legally allowed to edit, to iterate, to create from, and to publish as a D&D supplement or even a game based on the D&D system. This has additional information on the races and classes, and I believe it has a few extra races in there too, and a few extra classes. If you are interested in this, it's a great PDF as well. So between those two PDFs, that's 600 pages of reading. I will have that. I would like a report on that by next week. No, I'm just kidding. Feel free to go through that at your leisure. Very good resources. Again, totally free to use. If you are a dungeon master, these are more your speed. If you are a player or have never played the game before, you will also need a character sheet. So from there, we're going to go back to the Dungeons & Dragons page. Under gameplay, go to character sheets. And here you can download character sheet PDFs. They are all form fillable, so you can edit them on your computer and keep them on your computer or print them out, whatever you prefer to do. We do offer printing services at the library if you wanted to print off your character sheet. This is your basic character sheet right here where the mouse is. Of these other ones, that's really the one you're probably going to want to start with as a new player. And then if you have no idea how to play D&D and you just want to sit down at the table and give it a shot, these are pre-generated characters. All the classes and the races in the SRD and the basic rules are represented here. So if you click on one of these, it is just let's do a human fighter. It is a zip file. You'll download it, and then you'll extract that out and you'll pull up a character sheet. So let me pull that up real quick. Oh, I would like to extract it. Sorry about that, folks. I hope I didn't blow your ears out there. All right, so here is a pre-generated character sheet. On there, it has everything you need to know on how to play the character. Fighter is a more basic class than like Wizard, where you have to manage all these spells and stuff. So this one is very short. It's only one page. And it gives you a breakdown of what he can do on his attack, on what options are available to him in the game. And I personally think that this is a little more digestible than just making a character sheet, because if you've never played Dungeons & Dragons, you don't know what all the different symbols on the character sheet means. Yeah. So that's a character sheet, or that's a pre-generated character, and you saw where to get the other character sheets. The next thing you're going to need to run, or to play D&D is dice. So you can get physical dice, but this is more for how to play online, so we're going to use some online dice tools. The online dice tool one of the online dice tools, I'm going to show you two today. The one that I like is this Roll Dice with Friends. So if you just type in the name of your dice room, you can just click that, and then it takes you to that dice room. I've been in here a couple times just to test it out, so you can see my previous rolls, and then if I wanted to make another roll, you just pick which kind of die you want. In order, this is D4, D6, D8, 10, 12, 20, and then these are percentile dice, which is to represent a D100. So you just click the kind of dice you want to roll. So I want to roll 1D20, and that gives you the roll right there, and everyone in the room can see that. But there's no chat function or anything, so it's literally just dice rolling, and then you'll probably want to do some kind of voice chat or text chat otherwise. So to segue that, the online tool I use for D&D communication is Discord. This is all in the browser, by the way. I am running this just in Google Chrome. You don't need a fancy computer or anything. You can do this on your phone or anything with an internet connection and a browser. I'm going to give you a very quick, very brief how to make a D&D server on Discord. So you just click that plus button like I did, and then you just type in your server name, and we'll create it there. And then this link is what you send out to people if you want to have them join the server. Yeah, so this is great. It lets you do text updates, so you can just, say hello to all your friends in your D&D channel, and then it also has voice channels in it. Very versatile tool. Now, back to those PDFs real quick. If you're like me, 600 pages of PDF sounds great in theory, but actually trying to read that doesn't sound fun to me. There are a couple of different things you can do for that. The reason I like Discord so much is there is a Discord bot you can add to your server called Avaray, spelled that way, like I just typed. And you'll go here, and then this is just a breakdown of what it can do. If you invite it to your server, if you're already signed in on the server or on Discord, it'll just automatically know who you are, and you just tell it which server you're adding to it. Go ahead and give it those permissions, and you'll see why in just a second. So now it's integrated. That's the integration sound, that little update. So now Avaray is in the server, and what you can do with this is those SRD documents and that basic rules are in Avaray. And what you can do with it is if you can pull up the rules just very quickly so you don't have to sift through the PDFs. So if I wanted to know how the spell fireball works, I type spell fireball. All right, and that gives you the information on how fireball works. And everything you need to know about the spell. This works for spells, classes, races, monsters. So if I wanted to know something about a goblin, for example, we'll do monster, goblin. If I could spell goblin. All right. And that gives you a very brief overview of a goblin. Now, this is what players would see in your server. This AC, high, strength, medium, all that stuff. There are numbers behind those, and if you're the dungeon master and you want to know how to get those, what you need to do is go to your server settings, roles, and then Avaray is an incredibly smart Discord bot. So it's looking for the role of dungeon master or DM. I'm gonna do Dungeon Master here. And then you just click Save Changes. And you go back to your server, and then you assign yourself the role of Dungeon Master. Now that you have that role, I'm gonna do that command again. If you do Monster Goblin, Now it gives you all the information you could ever need about a goblin. But if you're like me as a DM, you would prefer to just show them the monster and not show them any of the, stats behind it. What you can do then is a token and then goblin. All right, so yep, there's your picture of a goblin, and everyone in the server that has access to that text channel would be able to see that there. This does not work for everything. It works for everything in those free documents that I said. But if you are trying to get something that is specifically in the player's handbook or the monster manual, it won't work, unfortunately. And the reason is that Avaray is connected to a website called D&D Beyond. And what that is a website. It's the official tool set for Dungeons and Dragons, as they call it. And what this is, it's those, if you don't sign in and you don't pay for the player's handbook or anything, it is the SRD in a more digestible form than 400-page PDF. So if I wanted to know something about wizards, right here, I'm not signed in or anything. It is just everything that's available for free about the wizard class. So it's not every subclass or every school of magic, but it is the wizard that's available for free. And then you'll also notice that it has this UA thing here. This is a playtest material subclass that Wizards of the Coast is trying to test out and see if they'll add it to the game. So this is everything that you need to know about the wizard class, and that's the same thing for all the other classes that are available to you. The exception, or not the exception, but some of the content that won't be available to you, for example, Artificer, if you click that, it'll tell you what book you need to purchase to get it. I'm not saying purchase these books, it's just if that is the material you're interested in, you will unfortunately have to pay for it. However, there is homebrew all over the internet that you can find to get something at least similar to an Artificer. Including this site. This site has homebrew stuff as well. So yeah. That is the Discord integration of Avaray, and that's D&D Beyond. You can also manage character sheets on D&D Beyond, and all you need to do is sign in with a Google account or a Facebook account. But you can make a character. It's very quick here. So if you didn't want a PDF, or if you want a little bit more hand holding to make your character and your DM isn't available, or you're just experimenting with Dungeons & Dragons, you want to see what happens. This has a character roller that step-by-step walks you through what to do. I am not going to sign in at the moment just because I am not signed into a Google account at the moment. And I don't want to waste any of your time, but it's a very good tool. You can actually integrate your character into Discord from there and do dice rolls as your character. It's a very powerful tool. But I said I was going to show you two dice rollers for this video. And Discord, Avaray has a built-in dice roller in it. So if you wanted to roll a d20, for example, you would just type exclamation R or roll space 1d20. And then it rolls the d20 for you. The syntax of rolling dice, if you've never played Dungeons and Dragons, is how many dice you're rolling, how many sides of the dice there are. So if I wanted to roll 4 6-sided dice, that would be 4d6. Just basic Dungeons and Dragons learning fun fact for you. Yes, but that is, I think, all I have to say about how to quickly get started in Dungeons & Dragons online and just the resources available to you. We do also have Dungeons & Dragons books in our catalog here at the library, so feel free to check those out as well at our website. That's mcdl.info. And hopefully we're going to do another video on how to roll a character. So stay tuned for that. Go ahead and like and subscribe the MCDL YouTube video or YouTube channel. And if you'd like notifications when we do other programs like D&D or other library programs in general, ring that bell down there as well. Thanks, and I hope you have a wonderful day.